Now Explain. This is part of our Computerizing a Manual Bookkeeping System series. This presentation is linked with the Now Explain Manual Bookkeeping series of videos. If you are watching this video on YouTube, you can find the manual bookkeeping version of this video there. This presentation will use the same data as that used in the manual bookkeeping series, and so customer, supplier and general ledger balances will all be numerically the same. The ultimate goal is to provide you with a way of comparing a manual bookkeeping system to a computerized bookkeeping system. This presentation will show you how the operation of a computerized bookkeeping system will differ to a manual bookkeeping system. The Purchase Credit Note Daybook, what it is and why we need this daybook. Manual bookkeeping, no computers here. So that's pen and paper bookkeeping, where you're still using the daybooks, the books of original entry, also known as first entry or prime entry daybooks. We are collecting information from the source documents. Computerized bookkeeping, we're going to replace those paper books. So we're going to have computer and bookkeeping software. No spreadsheets are allowed. Source documents are still required. Everything is integrated and linked. Duplication is removed. You can record much more detail. No column limits as with a paper book. Related daybooks, the Purchase Invoices Daybook, the Bank Payments Daybook, similar related terms used, suppliers, creditors, accounts payable, vendor, payments, money out, electronic funds transfer, EFT, checks. We don't need a handwritten daybook anymore. This credit note would be recorded in the handwritten Purchase Credit Note Daybook as shown on the next page. Here's our manual handwritten Purchase Credit Note Daybook. And here's the credit note highlighted. We now have on-screen displays. So with an on-screen display, there's no need for paper books. We can see all our credit notes and our invoices on screen. We can also have on-screen or printed reports. So here's an example of a screen printed report. And we have all the purchase invoice totals. And we have all the purchase credit note totals, and it lists all our invoices and credit notes. Let us see how this purchase credit note is recorded using our bookkeeping software. This is where we create our purchase credit note to mirror the same way as it was done manually in our Purchase Credit Note Daybook. The Purchase Credit Note data entry screen, and here it is completed. This is the key difference between a manual bookkeeping system and a computerized system. We only need to enter the data once on this data entry screen, and then every other ledger, supplier ledger, and all general ledger accounts are updated for you automatically by the software. And note, C for credit note was chosen as we are entering a purchase credit note. But before we start entering any transactions, we need to do some preparation. We need to set up supplier account codes and supplier details. When this is completed, we can then start entering our purchase credit notes. Here is the purchase credit note with the data entry screen side by side. You can see the information taken from the purchase credit note we received from our supplier. Here's our supplier details, their account code. Here's the date of the credit note. That's the supplier's reference number on the credit note. Here's what we actually got credited for. And here's the net values, the VAT and the total amounts. And this is our own internal reference number. We can enter the same information that was recorded in the manual bookkeeping system into our computerized bookkeeping software, but with our bookkeeping software, our supplier ledger cards are immediately updated. Our general ledger accounts are immediately updated. And we can see the credit note in both ledgers. Computerized bookkeeping takes away the need for writing the same purchase invoice or purchase credit note into different ledgers. When you enter a purchase invoice or a purchase credit note, all the linked ledgers are updated immediately. The supplier ledger card, the general ledger cost of sales, expense and asset accounts, the general ledger purchases control account, the creditor's ledger, and the general ledger VAT control account. Also, any purchases or supplier reports is now ready to be seen on screen or printed. What you have learned. There is some preparation work necessary before you can start entering data. A computerized system allows for more detail to be entered with every purchase invoice or purchase credit note. Each transaction entry updates every ledger immediately, and a computerized system will allow for immediate purchases and supplier reporting. Thank you for watching.